following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
The 1420 Sports Bar Podcast, for beer, sports talk, and a whole lot more. Episode number 375 on this February the 19th, 2024. Tonight's show, as always, is brought to you by SeatGeek.com and the SeatGeek app. Use promo code 1420pod over there at SeatGeek.com today and save yourself $20 on your first purchase. Remember, we are part of the Belly Up Media Network. Go to bellyupsports.com for all the great articles and other great podcasts, such as the Sports Soul podcast, Rise the Occasion, and one of my favorites, as always, the guys over at Craft Brewed Sports. They're still plugging away over there on a good time on every Tuesday night, so make sure you guys check those guys out. And thank you everybody who makes this part of their day each and every day, whether it be on YouTube or on the podcast form of the show, wherever it is you get your podcast. Obviously, you listen to podcasts, you know where you're listening to us, so whatever it is, there it is. Dave, Family Day weekend across Alberta, President's Day across the United States, lots of holiday things going on, but there was nothing more important than the Hockey Through the Ages tournament out in my hometown of Fort McLeod over the weekend. I got called off the reserve list. A good friend of the show, a longtime friend of both of ours, Wes Stockton, came up with a hamstring injury. First, old man, what happened, 52 years old, blew out his hammy, and that was it. I got called off the reserve list and got thrown into action on Saturday afternoon out there in Fort McLeod to play some hockey. It's always good to go back to your hometown and get involved in something like that, man. It was a good time.
Well, it's good to hear. After talking with Mike on Thursday there, it was a possibility. I was going to come out there, see how you guys did, but obviously you guys didn't come out to Tabor to watch me curl, so why would I drag my ass out to Fort McLeod to watch you guys play hockey?
There it is. Yeah.
Well, yeah, you scratched my back, but nonetheless, no, I had you guys in my thoughts, but yeah, I didn't have a. It's not just to drive out to Fort McLeod to come on and root and support my buddies. It'd be the sack of shit on the couch the next day when it's just one more turns into eight more, and I got an angry wife and a hungover husband.
Well, that was just it. When I got called into action, I was laying on the couch here on Saturday afternoon, and the phone rang and everything. Oh, you got to come play. I said, fine, whatever. And I was like, oh, geez. I wasn't planning on going back to McLeod until about 7 o'clock when the cabaret started. So I got called into action a little bit early and got called in to play defense in a 2-1 Team Oilers victory. I was actually a +2 in that game. We had a lot of fun. But and then the next day was funny because how that tournament works, it's when there's a penalty, it goes on to the end of the game for a penalty shot. And it goes by age, and I was the next up the way that the tournament worked, because in game 4, I was next up for the oldest to youngest to put her away. And so at the break, it was only 2 25-minute running periods. And it was 3-3 after at the break, and it went to shootout. I was the guy that was going to be shooting.
Oh, the oldest has to shoot first.
Yeah. So, but we already used a couple other guys who were older than me for the previous games, and so I was going to be the next one up. I was like, boys, you might want to figure this one out before we go to overtime, because you're not going to want the game on Brent Radlinski's tape to finish this one off. But we ended up giving up empty net goal and everything else. But it would have been me if we would have scored one with the guy pull. But a lot of money was raised. It was a good event all in all. I had a great time, and Sticky was full. That was always a good thing to watch. He was.
I love it when Sticky gets full.
No, it was a lot of laughs. Brad Dersh was out there on Friday night, just the people and stuff, and it was just it's a great event that they do every other year to make money for the community. We had a lot of fun, a lot of laughs, and it doesn't get too serious. Like you go out there and you compete and you try to win, but nobody gets too upset if they don't. There's nobody punching anybody in the face or anything else. It's a lot of fun.
Well, I'm glad you had fun, and like I mentioned to you and Mike, the town and community of Fort McLeod, you guys get back, you get together once, twice a year to do these get-togethers, and there's always a great turnout. The fact that you guys can get 4 teams to give their time, 8 teams?
Yeah,
I thought it was 4 teams.
8, man.
Holy Christ! How deep are the benches?
There's 9 forwards and 4 defensemen plus a goalie on each team, so 15 players per team.
Holy Christ. That's ridiculous. Getting 120 odd people to
Yeah.
make their time. Like
Plus and plus
that
and plus and fans
that's
and
great.
parents and things and stuff. No, it's a great event. They must have raised another 50 grand this year for they're trying to get some new outdoor playing fields out in Fort McLeod, and things kind of went the wayside during the COVID years and everything else. So it's a great event. But yeah, no, it was good. But Dave, something that caught my eye was away from the professional sports. Over the weekend, like I said, my focus was on the Fort McLeod Oilers. We had the team colors on there, but something that caught my eye, I think it was on Friday, and I kind of forgot about it. And he sent me that link today from the guys over at 32 Thoughts Podcast, Jeff Merrick and Elliot Friedman. Great podcast. You guys don't listen to that's a hockey one. Obviously, if you listen to ours, you probably listen to theirs. But the Nashville Predators had a trip booked to go to watch U2 at the Sphere. A day off, on and on it went. And they were playing there, I think, on tomorrow night, I think it was. And the concert was on Sunday and blah, whatever it was. But in general, the Nashville Predators have not been playing very good hockey. They're in a rebuild year, and so on it goes. But they canceled the trip. They canceled the concert, and the trip was supposed to include all the staff that the Predators have, the off-ice staff, not just the players. And they Andrew Brunette and who's the GM there now? He's been long time there.
Torts.
Not
Torts.
no, not Tortorella.
No, Torts. Barry or Trot.
Barry Trotz. Barry Trotz.
Trots. Yeah.
He says, no, we're horseshit. I'm canceling the trip. That's it. Basically being a parent grounding the kids for bad behavior. I was like, oh, when I first heard that, I go, you're going to have a bunch of pissed off players for the rest of the season. But what do those players care? They're probably not going to be there when the rebuild's done. And so I was like, well, maybe that's what you got to do. Because if these guys want to be National Hockey Leaguers, then maybe you got to get your dick slapped a little bit now and then. So what was your thoughts when you first heard of the story, and how would you have reacted if you were Barry Trotz?
Well, the way I understand, like the players had asked, like, can we leave right after the game against Dallas, get to Vegas a night early, and then we can all go to the Sphere. And they were like, it was going to be an organizational party. Like everybody was going, like the players, the wives, the staff. I don't know how many people that is. And then
Hundreds of people.
and they laid an egg against Dallas. I'll quickly look up the score. That was on Friday. That was on no, they won on Saturday. So that must sorry, I like this is bad now. I should have looked this up. Um but anyways, they got their ass handed to them by I think it was Dallas last week. And Trot said,
St. Louis.
oh, it was St. Louis. He goes, you guys didn't even put out a fucking effort. Burnett himself said, like, I think the team, we had such a shitty effort because we were in holiday mode. Holiday mode? Like the All-Star game was just 2 fucking weeks ago. You had a 5-day break, and just because you're looking towards a little getaway, that's no excuse to putting up a fucking egg in front of the home fans. And, when we say rebuilding year, like, they're still licking the jar for a wild card. I think they're right there. Like they're
6 out or something. That could be.
Yeah, it's not ridiculous. It's not a lost season by that, but they're by no means a cup contender, but they can make the playoffs, and they've been a remarkably competitive team since they got into the league. And when I first heard it, it's like, oh Jesus, that's a hard ass. But then again, as when I listened to Elliot Freeman explain it, and just he wasn't talking to Trotz there, he was talking to someone else. He's like, well, someone said once, if you're going to suck on the road. Don't suck in front of your home fans.
100%.
No, this is a message to the team. Like, I don't give a fuck what's 1-2 days ahead. Like, we do not disrespect our fans like this and lay an egg because we want to go and have a little bit of fun.
Well, and the thing is that the NHL is still a gate-driven league, right? With the revenue that they make compared to, like, 'cause they don't make a ton of money off their TV deals and everything else, or merchandise. Like, they still need to get people to come into the building, and they give a very good game day experience there in Nashville. But it doesn't matter how great the game day experience is. Nobody, we said it 1,000 times on this show, nobody ever pays to watch your team to watch your team lose. especially at home. So they're going to say, you know what? If because all of a sudden then that revenue's gone, and the beer sales are gone, and ticket sales, and the stuff and the things, and that's revenue every game. So all of a sudden you don't have those guys coming to the game anymore. No matter how great Tootsie's is before the game, just down the street from the Goodyear Arena, I think it's called out there in Nashville. When the team doesn't put an effort in, you're not getting my dollars because they're my hard-earned dollars. Yeah, you'll get the season ticket holders and the suite holders because those are already paid for. But the guys in the 200 levels and even season ticket holders say, you know what, fuck it, I ain't going. And beers are 12, $13 or $15, whatever it might be. That's all revenue you ain't getting. And so they say, you know what, I ain't going. I've had enough. If we're not going to put an effort in, I know it's a rebuild year, but you know what, the game is if it's like actually secondary, I ain't going.
Right, and like you mentioned there a couple of times, like when you lose, like losses happen, right? That's just as a sports fan, you have to you have to come to terms with the fact that your team is not going to win every game. Your team is not going to win every home game. But when you're there with an ass in seat, taking time out of your day, taking money out of your pocket, you better see a fucking effort because once the effort of the team is gone and you see that they don't care, why should I care when they don't care? And that's maybe it is easy. I was just going to say it probably wasn't easy for Barry Trotz to say, like, fuck it, the trip is canceled. Maybe it is easy for him. I don't know. But, it's just not the players he's disappointing. He's disappointing the entire staff. And this is the teacher or whatever. Back in the day with when someone would fuck up on a drill. Okay, everybody drop your ball back and forth. Like, let's run lines.
Yeah.
Okay, I got your attention now. One guy fucks it up for everybody, and that's what happened. The team fucked it up for everybody, and whether there's one guy or two guys or five guys that weren't putting out their maximum effort on that game, they're going to remember this going home because not only did they let themselves down, they let all the players, all the people working in the office down too.
See what I would have done if I was Barry Trotz and Andrew Brunette. So yeah, the staff's going, and whatever tickets you have, they're going to get the better tickets because I should say the players are going to get better tickets than the Wiseman ticket, whatever was done. But I would have like really stuck at these fuckers and right up their ass and said, they're going because they actually work harder than you do every day, daily for their job, and they want their jobs as a sports organization, working in sports and everything else. They actually had to not that athletes don't work hard to get their jobs. They 100% do, but these guys, they found a way to get into the sports world and everything else. They're gonna go. They're going to go, and you're not. And they'll tell you about how great it was because they do their job to keep their jobs because we can fire these fuckers. We can fire the ticket guy. We can fire this guy. We can fire that.
They're a
guy.
lot more replaceable than
They're
you.
replaceable than the guy with your contract. We can't buy all you fuckers out. So you know what? I'm going to actually. We're going to send the team. We're going to send the organization there. But you're going to sit home and suck on your thumb and practice, and because you guys didn't want to work hard. That's what I would have done. Looking back on this now,
Or fly everybody to Vegas and put the team in the room under curfew.
put the team at Circus Circus.
And
That's what you're
everybody
doing
else,
tonight.
yeah, here you are. Yeah, fuck, two to a room, two double beds. Fuck, no PlayStations. Fuck. I'd imagine
Two
someone
double
would be able
beds, three to a room, junior hockey style. You get a cot too,
a
maybe.
cot. Yeah, two vets and a rookie.
Yeah. Flip a
You guys
coin. Who
fight it
gets
out.
what bed?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh Jesus.
But yeah,
No.
bring your PlayStation. Like, no online. Don't give them the Wi-Fi password. No data. Have to put your phones away. Like,
No.
just think about you. Just go to your room and think about what you've done.
Yeah, because you don't want to go down to Circus Circus down to the fucking casino at the Circus Circus. There's no getting around that. No, like it's too bad for the players, but I like it. I like there's we talk, and it's not just me and you talking about it. We talk about everybody talks about the entitlement that these athletes have nowadays in comparison. I mean, and there was entitlement back in the '80s as well. I mean, these guys were once you get to that level, you're pampered quite a bit. But now it's at a whole other level because these guys have so much money, and you get two contracts, you're set for life, right? And so like, what do they care? Like, what do they care? It's
Yeah.
like you want to win, and obviously, like I said earlier, you're not. They like a lot of these guys when the rebuild's done, they won't. I couldn't name you three Nashville Predators right off the top of my head right now. Like I couldn't. And
No,
so
same.
and so 3 years down the road, when Barry Trotz has the rebuild to where they think they're a contender, most of those guys won't be playing for the team anyways. So what do the players care?
Well, even a bunch of them may, right? You're trying not for like I'm guessing it's a younger team. Um, some of these guys will be there when the team turns it around. And Barry Trotz has a record of putting a quality product on the ice all the time. Guy clearly knows how to coach. He had Nashville there all the time. Won a cup with Ovechkin when no one else could do it. He's looking down the road, down not next week, not next month, but 2-3 years from now. And the guys that do stick around, the guys that the prospects that are there that aren't like the rookie that's not going to be able to go on that trip. Now he's like, fuck, that would have been nice. But now, like when he's on his second contract, now being a leader on the team, he's going to remember, like we don't fuck around here. We bring it every night when we're especially in front of the home fans.
Well, that's the thing that kind of boggles my mind when you like. I mean, fuck, you probably like you own the company that you work for, but there's days you mail it in. Well, you try and you pretend a little bit, and you get thinking. I'm the same way, and like everything else. Everybody has days that you're not at the top of your game, but the thing is that I don't think that a lot of these guys realize. I've talked about this before, is that sometimes for especially athletes, it's just over. Like you're done. Like you can't play forever, and it just and that this gets let out there a lot that you're just done. And these guys don't realize that at a young age. They think they're going to play until they're 35, 40 years old. When sometimes you know what, you're just not. And if your effort isn't there and you're not part of the rebuild, like if you're on a not a very good hockey team, your free agent status isn't going to get boosted very well. Like you got to do some pretty remarkable shit to get picked up to play for a team that's better. Yes, there might be a skill set that the team might want, but there's times where you're like, you're just not good enough to play in this league anymore. And now because the way the league is, the money and everything else, they pay higher end guys a lot more, so the salary cap implication, everything else. If you aren't doing something remarkable on a nightly basis in the National Hockey League, your fucking chances of sticking around for a long time are very very slim.
Yeah, the long time, big time money that's gone. Like that's every team has one or two of those, but not every team, right? And especially when you look at the bottom half of the salary, not even the bottom third of the guys on the thing. Those are very easily replaceable parts, right? That's why we have drafts. That's why we have a minor league system. Every team has one of you. So give us a reason that it's you.
That you stay in this
And
league,
yeah,
and,
that you
and not just on this team to stay in this league.
to stay in this league because if you're not helping us, you're hurting us. How are you helping us, right? And that means bringing maximum effort, maximum skill, maximum commitment to the job that you're here to do. And even these guys are professional athletes, and they might think they're coach. It probably brought them back to like Jesus, fuck. This is like when I was 13 years old and coach didn't take us out for Slurpees,
Didn't go to
something like
BP's
that.
afterwards or whatever, Pizza Hut or whatever it
It,
could be.
yeah, it's the most of basic punishment, but and
I
that's
like it. Like
so do
when I
I. Like
when
at
I
the end of
first
the
heard it,
day,
I was like, "Geez, that's fucking kind of petty." And then I went, "No, fuck them,
petty works, right?
fuck them,"
Fuck them. They're not going to forget that,
because
right?
the way it sounded to me is that there was going to be a lot of money spent by the organization for this trip, and it was like,
Hmm.
going to be a lot. And so they went, you know what? Why would I spend money? Why would I fucking treat these cocksuckers to something they don't deserve? Like as petty as that sounds, it's true. Like it's no different. Like let's say if Jasper is acting up and you guys were you said you went to two guys last night, had some pizza, and during the day if Jasper was being a bit of a schmuck, you went, you know what, we're not going.
It reminds me of back in the day. Like that was the way my dad handed out justice, kind of thing. Like when it was we were at a soccer tournament, and I can't remember where, but then we were going to be going on a team thing, and then doing something else, like going to swimming or an amusement park, and I was jackassing around. I don't think I no more than any one of my buddies, but like I was a kid, I can't remember. But what I do remember we're going. As soon as supper was done, we were gone, and I didn't get to go to the amusement park with the rest of the team.
Yeah.
You know what? It was a petty. It was stupid. Like you're there. No, just because we're here, just 'cause it doesn't mean you get to do that. You're here to play soccer, and if you want to fuck around, you can go and just hang out with your mom and dad in the hotel room. Which I didn't like that. It's not what I wanted to be doing.
And for our families, that was like in back in the 80s and 90s. That was a financial thing, obviously, right? If you're gonna fuck around and find out.
Yeah.
And that's what and now with these guys, it's a reward system in professional sports, okay? Because there is CBA, there is things they have to follow. You can't give and take too much and all it on because there's certain days off you have to have, and I think the Nashville Predators, and I think this is a big wake up call for a lot of pro teams. Like, oh, it's not a privilege, or is a privilege playing this league. I do have to do things properly. I do have to put effort in all the time. I can't just show up and just hope things happen. I know I at first I was against it, but then I was like, no, I like it. I like it.
Yeah. Why not? You can do this on your own fucking time. Like we were gonna make something fun, but if you don't want to earn it, if you want to, yeah. If the carrot is is all your motivation, like when the carrot ceases to become a motivation, it is time for the stick. And the carrot wasn't money, the carrot was an experience, the carrot was something fun. And then it's like, oh fuck, we earned the carrot. Well, no, you haven't earned the carrot yet. We're not on the fucking plane yet, guys. Grab your gear. We'll see you at the airport at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning.
Like
And you know what? And like, how do those players go home to their wives and say we got grounded? We're not going to Vegas.
who may have had the sitter lined up and the things and like, oh, so now
And
you're
the
calling
bags
the
were
sitter
packed.
up and everything else, and now she's like, you didn't like, you're getting your pee-pee slapped. So what does she think? I don't know how women think. Obviously, Dave, you and I don't have no idea how women think at the age of I'm 49 and you're 52. Like we have no idea how women think. But I'm going to make the assumption that those women were not happy with their
Oh
husbands.
no, mad, mad, and like first mad at the thing, and then it was like, so you're telling me we're not going to see you two in the Sphere tomorrow because you guys didn't try? Is that what you're telling me?
Do you think?
Yeah,
Do you
yeah.
think? I think UC Saros is a predator. I think right. Do you think UC Saros, who's their star? Do you think his wife went through the stats page and saw who didn't try, phoned that wife and said, "You got to talk to your husband." Like this, or actually, did they usurp tickets? Because there must have been a block of tickets sold. Are the wives booking a trip? Says, I'm going anyway. I don't give a fuck.
It's not impossible, right? Like, and then just phone the travel secretary and say, like,
However
save
it
a
works
block
out.
of 10. We're going. Like, I
But
don't care.
20 wives went, and whoever else said, yeah, I'm going. And you know what? Now you can stay home and take care of the kids. How's that sound? Hey, you I look after the kids. I take care of the house. You make money. I get it. And like, not NHL wives don't work and make I'm not being that person at all. But fuck, man, if I was one of the wives, that's what I would do.
Oh fuck! And never mind the traveling secretary and his wife and whoever like amongst the staff that was going. The assistant general manager's wife. Like fuck that. Girls trip.
Girls
Like,
trip. We're
girls
not
trip.
because they always do the mom's trips, the dad's
Dad's
trips. You
trips.
know
Yeah.
what? And I don't even got to watch you assholes play. We're gonna go watch you two, and then we're gonna fly home. Fuck it. I'm done. I'm good.
Yeah. And give me your card. Like like, well, here's the
Oh,
card. Like,
I'm assuming that the wives all have a card in their
well, yeah,
in their
yeah.
Gucci purse. I'm going to make the assumption. I'm just saying.
Yeah, and I agree with that. But like, this one's on you, bitch. I'm going.
Yeah.
Like, wives trip. Like, yeah, just like there's gonna be a group thread.
Yeah, because the bags were
in or
packed,
out.
the
Yeah.
trip's been going, and how long they've been planning it, and then
You bet.
these players are like, well, I didn't want to play hard, or not they didn't want to, they just didn't, right? It's just that things didn't go well, and
It didn't go well.
that would be quite the conversation. Like you wonder how that came about. Was it the like you said earlier on? was there a group message that went out, or did each player have to go home to their significant other and explain it? Because the group message is the easy one, because the group message, by the time the guy drove from Goodyear Arena home, the wife may have had a little bit of time to cool down.
Well, here's
Or when did each player have to go to their significant other and say, "Honey, I got some bad news.
well, the way
We're not going
Friedman
anymore."
the way Friedman described it is that they had planned on leaving that night after the game. So everybody would have been
Oh,
at the rink with their gear. And then
bus is
Trotz said,
packed. Who knows?
yeah, exactly. And then just like Trotz just like, fuck you guys, you're not going. Fuck you. Send the wives. Like maybe he did send the wives. I don't know. Because that was my understanding. Because the Predators, I don't know if it was the players or the organization said, "Hey, this is a thing. You two, because we're playing on Saturday in Nashville. We don't play until Tuesday in Vegas. Let's leave right after the game, as opposed to the next morning, and then we can go to U2, and then we have a day off, and then the game."
Who pays for the
So,
bird and everything? Because it's all fucking
well,
there.
I'd imagine it's a charter, right? So the charter doesn't care if they fly Saturday night or Sunday morning. It's just letting them know.
Well, the
But the,
pilot's still sitting there, and the
yeah,
hotel's sitting there in Vegas waiting for you, and everything. Because you're canceling the game at after the game, it's 9 o'clock Pacific.
well, they always say don't make rash decisions when you're mad, but not Trotsy, eh? Like,
Never make decisions based on emotion. I tell Deanne that all the time, and I'm surprised I still have a wife, to be honest with you. Never make decisions based on emotions.
so the delivery of the "no, we're not going" message is a very curious one. I would like to know how that transpired from Trotz saying "fuck these guys," because maybe he said it in the second period already. If these guys don't pick up their fucking shit and figure it
Because
out,
he wouldn't have made that decision after empty net goal in the third or whatever it was.
no, 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 no.
He
Like
saw something in the second. He's like, "Fuck this, fuck them,
these
fuck
guys
these
don't
guys,
have
fuck
it
them
tonight.
all."
They don't have it. They don't
Man, I
have
remember
it.
last game. Oh, this is such a deep conversation. Like just, I wish there would if one of these times we would have this would have been a perfect conversation to have your blushing bride and mine as well as sitting here talking, the four of us, what they would have done if we were the schmucks playing for the Nashville Predators, if that came across, because I would love to hear a woman's perspective on this. Like it would be remarkable. And just like mumble tonguing this thing. I don't know.
Well, it would be right, and it'd be one of those times, as a professional athlete, that like you're the man, you're the breadwinner, and all this kind of stuff, but then just getting reduced to a 13-year-old boy. Like, why? Well, because we didn't try hard enough. What do you mean you didn't try? So like, did you try? Well, I've had better games. So you weren't trying. Who else wasn't trying? Who was trying? And then, and then like
Oh.
and then like and no even pointing fingers to the women. Like, can you believe what these fucking idiots did? They weren't fucking trying because they were so excited to go to U2. And here's the rub. Like, U2 is done. Like, I think Sunday's their last day.
I think it was going to be the last show.
Yeah. And then so it's not like something we can go next week, or we can go this summer.
Oh.
But it's nice to see that
I know
that
I know
management.
I know exactly what I would have got from Deanne. I've been telling you for years, would you just fucking grow up? Yeah. Yeah, I know. Like, fuck. I know. That's what I would have got.
They're paying you to do that. Like, why don't you try? Well, you don't understand. And we were
I
excited.
did, but fuck.
And some days you just don't have it. Well, you know what else we don't have? Fucking
Trip to
front row
fucking
seats to
Vegas.
you too. And now I gotta stay home because you fuckers, it's not worth it for 2 days anymore. No, because you guys are gonna have to get bag skated when you guys.
Now I don't want to watch you play either.
Yeah. Like, what fun is it? Like, fuck. You guys better fucking win.
So then they go home to their houses in Nashville, sleep in the guest room. Guaranteed.
I was really looking forward to that Vegas trip, babe.
Fuck, you go downstairs. Don't even think it.
I would like to think there's a little bit more maturity to that, but I'm not
Oh,
saying
no.
everybody slept.
Hell
Yeah,
hath no fury like a woman scorned. Oh,
I don't
man.
think there was a lot of baby making that night. That's for
No,
sure.
no. New Year's 2000 or there been Christmas babies coming around that for the Nashville Predators. So no, I like it. It's crazy that the childish shit had to come across, and maybe that'll be a thing for these guys to finally get it. And it's like the old school guy like Trotz would do that. Like, and Brunette's an old school coach. He played in the league when it was tough. Like he did. Like it's one of those things. So you just go, yeah, I get it. I get it.
You know what? I'd imagine Trotz. It might have been Burnett's idea. Who knows, right? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know the conversation because Trotz just doesn't come down there and lay down the hammer. He talks to coach. He goes, what the fuck? He goes, they didn't have it. And then I imagine Trotz, he don't give a fuck. He went in there after the locker room. Okay, everybody here, Vegas is canceled. Go, like, get your shit bus. Like, you can keep your shit. Get your wives to get their fucking bags off the bus. We're not going to Vegas tonight.
You wonder what kind of let's not get off it, but you just wonder what kind of a in the future, like 2-3 years down the road, that free agents might go, I'm not fucking hear what they did to those guys, because let's go the other way. Our free agents go, I'm not going to be treated like a fucking child. I ain't fucking playing with it. I'm not going there. Fuck this.
But then what happens in 3 years from now when Nashville, like, I don't know but if they are like a team on the verge, like Vegas is right now, like Colorado is like now right now, like Edmonton is right now. It's a matter of culture. I get it. Nashville's never won, but they've always been really competitive. They've
Playoff
always
team.
been a good, always every year, and they've made some deep runs. I wonder if if that's your culture. Like, could you imagine Columbus would way rather have the problem of telling guys they couldn't go to Vegas as opposed to firing their manager, their
Coach
GM,
before the season started, general manager halfway through, on it goes,
and rebuild after rebuild. And now he has superstars that one's in the league assistance program, and one is getting benched. What problem would you rather have? Like, you gonna treat me like a child? Well, fuck, I'm paying you like a man, so like I don't know what else I can do. I wish I can take away a Vegas trip, but you guys can't even get your fucking shit together to organize something like this because you're such a fucking group of shitheads.
Fuck.
Like, could you imagine being a Columbus fan? Like, fuck this.
I couldn't. No, it's an absolute mess, and they just got awarded the Winter Classic game at
they're going to be playing in the Horseshoe.
State.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so and why? Because you got a big rink or you got a big building, like that's got to be. Like, I understand it's for TV and it's for ratings and blah blah.
It's not for TV. It's a reward to the fans.
But Ohio State is a huge fan base, obviously, so people from Ohio State fans will watch that. But I don't think that personally, the Columbus Blue Jackets deserve to be playing in that kind of hockey in front of that kind of an audience.
No, well, who do you blame? Well, they've had 20 years now, and they can't do it in. I did listen to the 32 thoughts. That Kekalainen actually didn't do a bad job. They were in the playoffs 6 of 8 years he's been there. Like, I didn't even realize that they've been in the playoffs.
That's the most irrelevant franchise in pro sports.
It's up there.
Like, name 3 more irrelevant franchises. Honestly,
the Clippers, the Jaguars, and the Jets.
Like the New York Jets.
The New York Jets, yeah.
No,
but they got New York money, so yeah. Maybe the Titans. I don't know. Like, fuck.
Yeah.
Or the Diamondbacks or the Rock. Well, not even the Rockies because they draw, right?
No, that
I don't
Columbus
know.
Blue Jack team's that's irrelevant. Like,
They
just
no one gives
completely.
a fuck. Yeah.
They tried. They get decent crowds, but like nobody cares. They went outside. They went out and signed Goudreau from Calgary a couple years ago and everything else, but it's just irrelevant. And they're bad, and they make bad decisions, and there's not a good hockey. Like it's just irrelevant. Yeah, crazy, absolutely crazy.
It is crazy, but I do think this Kekalainen was trying, but it just wasn't working out for him. And I don't know, like, sooner or later a guy has to get fired. Like, I get it, you're trying it. Like, he took some big swings, but
Did you happen to see the Vancouver Canucks lost 10-7 today?
oh no, I didn't.
10-7 in Minnesota.
Holy cow.
There was a couple empty netters in there, but it was still 10-7. Like, oh.
Lately, the last 2 weeks, there's been a lot of really high numbers in these
Tampa
games, right?
got beat by Florida 9-2, I think it was. And yeah, there's been some pretty
Edmonton beat Detroit 8-4 last week.
McDavid
Yeah.
got 6 assists or something stupid. And you could have,
Yeah.
if you'd have went to Bodog or Bet US or whatever, and because the Oilers lost to the Kings last Saturday, I think it was. Like they got shut out or lost 3-1, or they got shut out 1-2. That was a no-brainer. McDavid's going to get at least 5 points. Like there's a no-brainer.
Last week, Buffalo beat the Kings 7-0. Like, Jesus Christ!
Do you worry about, like, if your team gets blown out? Do you worry?
It's just one,
or the reaction of your team when they're getting blown out.
If it's if it's close in the first half of the game, and your team is getting bad bounces, and then
bad goal here, bad goal,
and then a bad goal here, I understand how, like, I don't want to say give up. I understand how you can't try as hard, but if it's now the third period and it's 5-0, 6-0, like it might be time to look for some retribution. Okay, it's done. We're not trying hard anymore. If you keep running up the score, like, I'm gonna cheap shot someone. Like, and that's just my competitive nature. Like, when it's like, don't fucking embarrass me anymore. Like, just let's burn clock and let's go to it. Otherwise, someone might find a check, and then that's frustrating and that's cheap, and that's not my nature, because I bitch about this kind of play all the
They
time
might
at
get a
professional
CCM to
sports.
the jibs. I'm not saying a stick, maybe a glove.
Or yeah, or even, what? Just your calves. I'm gonna whack your fucking calves every time I come by you. Like, they're not gonna call me, but, like, you're gonna have a bruise about 8 inches above your fucking skate, because I'm gonna attack the exact same spot every single time.
It's funny you talk about that, how the game's changed like that. I was sitting with Trevor Hardy yesterday. He's the athletic trainer for the Hurricanes there. And he was in Fort McLeod, proud son of Fort McLeod there, and we were talking about. He said Joel Arnson, a name. He's gonna get him on our show and whatever. But he says Arnson drafted. He goes 20 years ago. He said he would have been a first rounder.
Tough as shit.
Tough, punch you, score some goals, whatever, do one of these things. No, he didn't say 20, he said 30. He said 30 years ago. I was like, oh, yeah, he's one of those guys. I was like, yeah, he goes, he would have been a first rounder. Like, just one of those things, how the game's just changed that much. Like, that guy, he's that kind of a guy. Like, not like first overall, but like in the late first.
But there was a place for him in the league. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody wants that kind of a guy. And
yeah.
He's got highly skilled, punch a guy in the face, no, whatever. Yeah. And yeah, and it's funny. It's funny. We've talked about this a few times. It's funny how the game wants all these skilled guys, but it's the other guys that win you championships.
Yeah, the guys that
right?
are able to play tough, right?
Yeah.
Like, you need some of those guys, and and Toronto found that out, and it was kind of funny with all this shit that went down with O'Reilly, and then who's that guy they signed, Reeves? That was gonna be the tough guy, right. And then he was saying how this shit wouldn't have happened if he was on the ice and that kind of stuff. And they showed the very next game, Reeves lost his balance and went face first into the boards. And he was off. Like, fuck. So, like, what is your point, then? No one's afraid of you, big man.
Yeah,
Like,
no, like yeah, the game's passed you by, just like it did for me on Dave. We'll call this a segment here, but
well, that was more father time than the
yeah,
style of play. No.
on Saturday afternoon, there wasn't there. The puck went into our corner, and there wasn't anybody out playing defense. There wasn't anybody within 25, 30 feet of me. And I looked over my shoulder, and said what I was going to do. And I felt my right heel kick up. And I fucking went ass over tea kettle right into the board. Fucking nobody around me. Fucking. I was like, yeah, I'm old and shitty. This is what it is now.
Did you
Fuck
wear your
you.
Cooperalls?
Oh yeah, that's a staple, man. Cooper
Yeah,
rolls for fucking.
that's your signature.
Those are a staple now, 100%. Because even when I put them on the dressing room, because guys I haven't played with before, they're like, "Where did you get those, man?" I said, "Top secret shit, man. Top secret shit." So,
1987, buddy.
1987 All-Star Game. There you go, kids. Anyways, the 1420 Sports Bar Podcast, for bigger sports talk and a whole lot more. This segment is brought to you by SeatGeek.com, the SeatGeek app. Use promo code 1420pod at SeatGeek.com today and save so $20 on your first purchase over there at SeatGeek. Yeah, just fell. Just fell.
No groove in the ice.
No, I felt my right heel kick up for some reason, and I just went into the board.
Were your skates sharp?
A couple years ago, yeah.
Maybe that's it. Maybe you should have got them puppies sharpened.
Well, I don't know.
Well, then again, fuck. Just be happy you had a stick, or do you have to borrow one?
Well, I have a stick.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
Lumber, wood.
It's a different kind of wood. It's a composite of some kind. It didn't cost much money. I'm not spending.
Is that what it is?
I spent $300 on a twig. There's no. No. I think she might have been about 45 or 50 bucks a Canadian Tire.
Atta boy.
No,
you tape her up real good though, eh?
Twice a year. Yeah, there you go.